Well, students will continue our discussion here. We have talked about the low level language, that is machine level language and assembly level language. Fine. Machine level language and assembly languages, they are machine dependent. They are machine dependent. No standardization at all. Means if I go from one machine to another machine, I want to run a simple written program on various machines, various computers. I cannot do that because they are machine dependent. Say various machines are made up of different companies. They are not made up of same companies. So assembly language there it won't work. So we have the different things here. Let's go for high level language. High level language here. HLL, high level language, HLL, that is high level language here. Our conclusion from this two, that is low level language, is that the machine low level languages are of two types, that is machine level language and assembly language. These two, that is machine level language and assembly language, they are highly machine dependent, and it will be very difficult for a programmer to switch over from one machine to another, or one machine language to another machine language, or from one assembly language to another assembly language. So computer engineers, they thought of developing a third generation language, say a programming language, which are more closely related with the problems than the machine. Here I want to say that programming languages that are called as high level languages, which are more concerned with specific problem specification and not oriented with what is known as machine, not oriented towards the details of a computer machine here, and these languages are known as high level languages. Well, these high level languages are like English languages. High level languages are English like languages. Elements of high level language are alphabets, say digits, alphabets, digits, punctuation, special symbols, and so on. In high level computer languages, instructions made up of alphabets, digits, punctuations and the special symbols. So programs written or instruction set written in high level language are easy to read, easy to write and easy to understand because they are made up of alphabets, say English like language or English, alphabets of English, digits, punctuation, special symbols and so on. So we can easily understand every instruction. We can easily write every instruction. And these instructions written here in high level languages are machine independent. They are not machine dependent. Keep in mind, they are machine independent. So the program written for one computer can be transferred to another computer. A program written for one machine can be run on another machine. Programs or instruction set written in general, more or less it will work on all the machines with little or with no modification at all. So my point here is this high level languages or high level language here are completely machine independent. They are thoroughly independent of machine. So here let me consider a simple program. Well, I'll write a simple program, sample program written in one of the high level language. Read. I'll write read, say A, B. What does it mean? I'll write this. Input values for A and B. So this is the, say here I'll write sum. This is SUM, sum, that is sum equals A plus B. Add the content of A to the B. Add the content of A to the B and store in sum, a variable here. A is added, content of A is added to the B and then stored to the a third variable sum. Now I will say print sum. A simple program here. Display, that is display of sum on monitor. Simple program here and then stop. That is halt. Means don't proceed further. So this is a simple program here. See, from this program, a simple set of program is instruction. Read. This is the input statement. That is for A and B. We have given the operation here. All these symbols are used and we have asked the computer to sum this. This program, I said it is easy to write. It's for a programmer, easy to write, easy to understand. It makes meaning because it is in English like language. But what I want to say, this program computer doesn't understand. Then what is the use of this? When you say computer doesn't understand, though the programmer understands this program easily, but computer doesn't understand it, then why you are written it? So therefore we need here this program is to be translated into the computer readable language. So here the process of translating a high level language program into a machine level language requires an intermediary program called as translator. We need this, a translator. So this is called a source program. We'll draw a block diagram as like in assembly language. Say, I'll write here source program and we'll explain this. Says program, source program of HLL, high level language. We need here a translator. Translator. Here we have translator. There are two, compiler and say interpreter. INT, interpreter. And here we have what is called as object program. Object program, that is machine level, machine language. I have used here some sentences, some words. Computer understand only the machine level language. Well, to improve, say we want to use English like language which is machine independent. It should be written and the program or instruction should be written by a programmer, easy to understand, easy to write, and the meaning of this can be done here. We have an intermediary program called as translator. A translator, another program called as a compiler or interpreter will convert or transfer this source program into a machine level language, and this machine level language called as object program is the input for a machine. It is the input for a machine. It will be converted and this object program is understood or processed by machine. This is called as compiler or interpreter. It depends upon the language here. Hope you got this. Let us go for the compiler and interpreter are the two translator programs that are used to translate a high level language program into machine level language program. Here the programs written in high level language are called as source program. The corresponding program after translator is either called as compiler or interpreter, and the end program is called as the object program. Well, in C language we are doing practicals here. Computer science students, they know it very well. We are using compiler and here a translator, it was used earlier in basic language interpreter. So the compiler takes if I already have written a simple program, that is addition of two, say, variables a and b. The compiler is a translatory program or a translator which translates the entire program or instruction set into a machine level language. If anything is wrong, it will display the error in it, and this is how the debug error we see in compiler here. So this is faster, this is easy to and little costlier. Interpreter is another translatory program here, translator. It translates line to line. It translates line to line. There will be lines of programs. One line will be translated, another line will be translated, and so on. So it will indicate if there is an error in it. It will be displayed on the monitor if there is an error in the line, particular line number, and so on. This interpreter was earlier used in basic language, and it is slow, it is cheaper. So keep in mind, in C language we are using Turbo C, a compiler. Turbo C, a compiler in C language here. So this is a structure of a high level language. It is classify these high level languages. Okay, classification of high level languages here. Let me write. Okay, somewhere here. Classification of high level languages. Some high level languages and write language, okay, and then acronym, what is the short form? Okay, purpose, and the field specification. Fine. So I will write a language, basic. I mentioned here basic. I have studied this language. Beginners all-purpose symbolic instruction code. Beginners all-purpose symbolic instruction code. Some classification of high level languages, and this purpose is general purpose. The purpose of the language, general purpose. This can be used for teaching, fine, say training, say it can be used in science and technology. This is one. Another, the Pascal is another language, Pascal, and this language named after the French scientist, French say mathematician, Blaise Pascal. And this is also a general purpose language, and this is also used in teaching, training and science and technology. I have learned this language, C language, which we are going to study. No acronym, ACRO, no specific acronym for it, but it is a version of a programming language BPCL. When we start actual syllabus, we will come to know this. This is also a general purpose language, and this is also used in training, say teaching. Okay. System programming, C language, system programming, embedded systems, and development. This language is specific. It's a general purpose. Okay, general purpose, and so on. So another language, COBOL, COBOL, common, common business, say business oriented language. And this is specific purpose, business data processing, say business and data processing. It is used for business and data processing. Even we have studied this. Fortran is another language. I will write it here. Fortran is Fortran. Fortran. This is formula translation. And this language is specific purpose. It is used for scientific application. Now, you might be knowing about this C++, new version of C. It is specific purpose. This object-oriented programs. OOPS, what is called as object-oriented programming. It is called as OOPS. Say Prolog is another language which is not that common. Programming in logic. Programming in logic. This acronym is Programming in Logic. It is a specific purpose language and it is used in artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence. You may be knowing this, your friends, your seniors may be using this. The computer science students, they are studying this Java. No acronym for this. It is a special purpose language and it is used in internet programming and many more. And this is C hash. It is C sharp acronym here. It is specific purpose language and it is used for net application. Net applications. Well, what are these are the various languages. Out of that we are studying only C language. That's only basic of that C language, not the entire. You can learn on your own and you can add that in your resume, and that is good addition. And probably that's the reason why they have mentioned this in our BSc program. So what are the advantages of these high level languages? Let's see one by one advantages of high level languages. Easy to read. High level languages easy to read and understand. Easy to read and understand. Easy to write, modify and debug. Easy to write, modify and debug. Please make any errors in it. These high level languages so far we have listed. C is among them. C is among them. These high level languages HLL are independent of machine. Machine, I mean here the computer. All these languages are standardized languages. All high level languages are standardized. Very important advantage of these languages is portability. Portability. What do you mean by portability here? The programs written on one machine language can run on or can be implemented on different languages. Run on different machines with little or no modification. Run on different machine with little or no modification. These are certain disadvantages here. I have not mentioned disadvantages. Let's not do it for. These are certain advantages Let me summarize what we have today, what we have discussed today. We have started with what is meant by programming language and how they are classified. They are classified into two, that is low level languages and high level languages. We have gone little deep. We have seen that examples of low level languages, that is machine level language and assembly level language. They have some advantages as well as disadvantages. Compared to advantages, they have more disadvantages. All the low level languages are machine dependent, and people thought of a language which is machine independent and it should be problem oriented. It should solve a problem specifically rather machine oriented. So called as high level languages. High level languages are of two types: general purpose language and specific purpose languages. All these languages, we write instructions or a program in English like language or in English, easy to understand, easy to read and write the programs using high level language. But here the program which we write in English, the instructions we are using, the instructions consist of all alphabets, digits, special punctuation or punctuation, special symbols, easy to write, easy to understand for a program. But computer doesn't understand the English like language I mentioned at the beginning. So we need a intermediary translator, a program, a translator known as compiler or interpreter. Mainly compiler is used in C language and interpreter is used in basic language. So if you want to run or if you want to write a program on C language, you need a compiler, and we are using Turbo C++ or many, that is DOS system. We will discuss about this. So these are certain advantages of high level languages. In the next class, what we'll do is we'll try to know about algorithm and flowchart. Thank you.